Welcome back, Algebra 2. We are in Lesson 123. We're going to do a little geometry today. We're going to talk about locus. No, not the plague in Egypt. We're going to talk about the Greek word locus, which means place or position. So in geometry, when we say locus, we are talking about a collection of points that are the same or have the same characteristic. So, for instance, if I have the center of my circle here, if I mark that correctly, this is the actual center, the radius of that circle, if I could actually draw a straight line, well, let's see. The radius of that circle, I'm just going to draw close to straight. There we go. The radius of this circle here is going to be the same distance from the center to the edge of the circle all the way around. That's why we call it the radius. It is from the center to the edge. And that's the only dimension that we really need in order to calculate all things about a circle. The area, the circumference, all of that comes from knowing the radius. Now, what we haven't talked about up until now, and what you may not realize, is that the collection of points that are made up by the length from the center of the circle to the end of the radius. That collection of points, that is what our circle is. And if you think about it, you'll understand that as being true, that the definition of a circle is the planar geometric figure. Planar means two-dimensional. That is the collection of all points that are the same distance from a specific point. So the radius specifies the same distance here. This is your radius. And the specific point is the center of the circle. So all of these points around the center that are the same distance from the center, the length of the radius, that's what makes your circle. The edge, the circle, the line that creates the circle, that is the locus of all points that fit the radius to the point, the center point in the circle. All right, so this edge is the locus of the radius to the center. Same thing is true for a sphere. The only difference between a circle and sphere is that the sphere is three-dimensional. So that means not only do you have the radius coming from the center of this circle to the edge, you have the radius coming from the center to the top, to the bottom, to the side, to the back, to this side, all the way around that point three-dimensionally. You have, a circle here, you have a circle here. So the sphere is going to be all revolving around this center point here. So it's kind of cool when you think about it, how they are alike in that regard. So the outer edge, think of a ball, the shape of the ball on the outside, the skin, the part that we inflate, that bit of the ball, that is the locus of all the points that are the same distance from the center of that ball. Now, when we talk about a locus along a line, we are talking about parallel lines. Okay, so the locus of all points 3 centimeters from line X here, this is line X, would be 3 centimeters above and 3 centimeters below. So if this is 3 centimeters, it would create 2 parallel lines, one 3 centimeters above, one 3 centimeters below, if that's what we were looking for, was the locus of all points 3 centimeters from line X. You'd have to not only go above, but you'd have to go below on both sides to include all the locus of that. Unless the problem specifies above or below or to the left or to the right, then you have to include both. Okay, just like with a circle, and it goes 360 degrees, you have to think about all points along a line as well. All right, so our next video It's not done by me, but it's well done. And it shows you the tools that you're going to need in order to do some basic geometry construction. You're going to need a compass and a straight edge in order to do that. So I would like for you to take a piece of scratch paper out and follow along with the following video, making and constructing each one of these geometrical shapes in the instruction that's given. You're going to copy a line segment, you're going to copy an angle, you are going to bisect an angle, and you are going to construct perpendicular lines given this. And so there's a lot of things that you're going to want to know how to do, or you're going to need to know how to do. Understanding how to make these things gives you a better understanding of the shapes themselves. It puts you into them three-dimensionally, and you begin to see how they work together. And that is necessary when dealing with geometric objects. So go to the next slide and watch that video. Be sure to get your compass and your pencil and your straight edge and a sheet of paper so that you can follow along. Pause as you need to so you can do the steps. That is part of this lesson, and it is necessary for you to do so. After that video, you'll have a couple practice problems, and then that will be all we have for lesson 123, and we'll see you in lesson 124.